Have you noticed that modern games don't even feel bad anymore? It's not even like they'll be broken, ugly, or unfinished necessarily. They just feel like they were made by Suzanne from HR. Like you boot it up and you can feel the soft crybaby MIDI notes that were taken. It's like this game wasn't actually made to be played by anyone. It was just made to be approved and it hit all the check boxes. Everything's polished, everything's safe, everything's just aggressively mid. Games these days, they're like boiled chicken, corn, and mashed potatoes. No salt, no pepper, no butter, nothing that could be deemed offensive by anyone. See, modern games feel like they're terrified of you having a strong reaction. And not even a bad one, just any reaction at all. They have no sharp edges, no strong opinions, no moments where the game looks you in the eyes and says, yeah bro, we just did that. Or when they actually do, it's the dumbest shit you've ever seen just to be edgy. I'm looking at you, Last of Us 2, killing Joel like that. Hey, but y'all, it's not an accident. See, these things are what happens when a game's designed by a committee instead of by vision.
Let's get this freak show on the road.
Here's the thing, AAA studios don't suddenly forget how to make good games. They just stop being allowed to. Listen, you won't catch me buying scratch-off lotto tickets or playing the penny slots at the casino. So when a game costs $200, $300, sometimes $500 million, these motherfuckers who invested their money for the game decide that creativity becomes liability. See, nobody in that room wants to be the person who says, bro, let's try something new and bold. Because what happens if it fails? Well, congratulations. Now you're unemployed at best, and at worst, you may end up with 14 self-inflicted gunshot wounds in the back with Hillary Clinton standing over your corpse like, oopsie. So instead, decisions get filtered. But see, not through the lens of, is this shit good? But through the lens of, will this upset the investors? Will this confuse the casual players? Will the Twitter bots yell at us? Or will this hurt engagement metrics in Q3? And that right there is how you end up with games that feel like they were designed by a group chat where no one in it's allowed to ever disagree. At first glance, focus testing sounds smart, and on paper, honestly it is. But here's the rule that always follows. If 10% of players love something and 10% of players hate it, the solution's never to lean into it, it's just to remove it. Because love and hate, both of those are risky, but neutral is always safe. Especially in today's hive mind ass mindset with politics being so popular. Today, people want to be in a group so damn bad, you'll have women out there who've never even heard of Tom Brady talk about their favorite NFL team. Motherfuckers can't name a single player on the team, but they think Taylor Swift is the running back on the Chiefs. So anyway, anything weird in these games gets softened, anything confusing gets simplified, and anything memorable just gets filed down into some inoffensive lukewarm water ass shit. And that's why modern games rarely do anything that you actually hate. But the problem is they rarely do anything you love either. They just have boring AI written dialogue, androgynous characters, no bad bitches or badass swole dudes, and not even lethal villains. Now see, this is where writing really starts to suffer, because committing to an idea means committing to being wrong sometimes. So instead of strong themes, you get vague ones. Instead of opinions, you get both sides. See, this type of shit is how we get a war game set in World War I, but you have 50% of the platoon be black women. Or you have a game set in the Middle East, but the main character is openly gay and the story's about him coming out to the Sultan and being accepted by the entire village. It's like these fools don't realize history exists. Bro, I'm down to play all Shadidi Simulator, but you at least gotta make it set in the future instead of 1940 for realism's sake. In these games now, characters don't stand for much and stories don't say much. And to be honest, it's not from laziness or lack of skill. It's really just from trying to be safe all the damn time. This is reflected in speech these days. You have to tiptoe through conversations at the risk of offending someone if you say, hey, my wife's at home pregnant, instead of saying, a person with uterine reproductive capacity who's contractually and emotionally affiliated with me under matrimonial law is presently hosting a life form in development pending successful completion of standard biological milestones. Now this reason right here is exactly why all AAA games feel interchangeable. Not identical, just with the same spiritual makeup. Yeah, I know. They'll all have some different characters, weapons, settings, story. But see, they all follow the same structure. And I don't just mean like the hero's journey structure. Y'all already know the template. You play as a marginalized main character. Your best friend comes from a different marginalized group. One character whose entire personality is being gay. A transgender kid who's afraid to come out of the closet. And a villain who learns the error of his bigoted and phobic ways after you beat his white ass. Then he finally accepts everyone. Then from a mechanic standpoint, these games will all have an open world, some Ubisoft ass map icons, MMO upgradable level gear, and a dialogue wheel that just loops back to just being neutral. Again, it's not because these studios are stupid, it's because templates are defendable. Think back to your job. Nobody's ever got fired for copying what's already worked. So instead of these games having a point of view, they just have a spreadsheet. Because if it fails miserably and you say, hey bro, listen, I just copied the template, then all the blame gets shifted to the template, or in this case, the customers. Cause I know we've all seen it. You insensitive bigots need to buy our games next time. You racist? But why would I buy the game? Because I've already seen all this stuff. Dialogue trees that funnel in the same outcome, meaningful choices that just affect one line of dialogue, if that, and then probably nothing else. Endings that reset the universe anyway, so nothing actually happens by the end of the game, or worlds full of content that are fully empty of any meaning. Nothing you do can matter too much in these games, because then the wrong player may feel a little uncomfortable and start crying on the internet. Now, compare all that to indie games. But first, there's no magic behind being labeled an indie game. It's not because the devs haven't been tainted by corporate greed or anything crazy. Indie games just feel good because someone's actually allowed to be wrong. You have one or two voices, one vision, one or two people saying, yeah, this might piss someone off, but hey, it's worth it. Indie game devs, many times, they don't have to ask permission. They just make the game that they want to make. If it fails, oh well bro, I guess I'll learn from this and come back stronger next time. Because there's no donors breathing down their necks. Well, usually. I mean, look at someone like me with a tiny little YouTube channel compared to a larger YouTuber who's getting invites to Xbox and PlayStation reveal parties and shit. That's gonna make them hyper police their own videos so they don't piss anyone off. See, I can look at a game and say, man, this game looks retarded. While a larger YouTuber, they may see the same game, have the same thought as me and say, well, I see the vision, but I personally think the main character is awesome, but I would also like to see a little more innovation personally. But hey, that's just my opinion, guys, okay? It's just my opinion. Don't attack anyone. It's the same logic. AAA games have to ask for approval. Little games don't have to. That's the main difference. Now, if y'all watched my last video about fake choices, this video explains why they exist. Fake choices aren't lazy design. It's safe design. It's what really happens when no one's allowed to fully commit to something. And here's the scary part. Games aren't simply getting worse from an X's and O's standpoint. They're just getting more careful, designed by people who still care but aren't allowed to care too much. But hey, maybe we can all just hope that we keep getting badass games like Expedition 33 while we wait for these AAA companies to get their heads out of their own asses. But with that, I want to thank everyone for making it this far in the video. Everyone's still here. Stay safe out there, because I'm going to see y'all next time.